What do you do when you feel like you're outgrowing your spouse? That's what we're going to talk about today. Guys, what do you do when you feel like you're outgrowing your spouse? The conversations aren't the same. The things you want to do, the things that they want to do, our reaction to situations are growing more and more different in contrast. What do we do about that? The first thing we have to understand, guys, is not that your relationship itself is in a certain place. It's us as individuals. So as you grow, so does your revelation of relationship. So does your relationship skills. So as you feel like, I'm gaining more knowledge here, I'm gaining more knowledge here, I'm growing more and more. So should your understanding of information. So should your understanding of relationship and communication skills. Okay, so that's the first thing we have to do. If they're responding differently to a situation, we have to understand now that we know more that they're different and everyone's response different. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. I don't have to control how they respond. I don't have to love how they respond. But one thing that's not going to happen, it's not going to get me upset and discombobulated. You see what I'm saying? Their fears is not going to scare me. Their frustration is not going to frustrate me. He said, well, what if they infringe on and well, if that's the situation, if what they got going on, if their hurt and frustration frustrates you, now you have to ask yourself, are you codependent? Are you codependent? So you have to be able to grow and be comfortable with your own growth. As I look back, I'm comfortable with what I know now. I'm comfortable with the the contrast of my awareness, my understanding. Okay. So, and they have to break it down. I have to break this down right here. So let's say your child graduates from high school. It's bittersweet, but it's not a very, very old, disappointing, sad situation. We have to look at, you know what? They're off to new pastures. They're off to their life, new experiences, career, heights, whatever it is. They're off to new heights, and that's to be celebrated. So we have to look at where we've grown. Now there's revelation, what I understand, what I didn't know before. So it's not that um, the change is so drastic. My understanding is what's so awesome now. My awareness is what's so awesome now. You see what I'm saying? So things that used to pull me down and hold me down, they don't do that anymore. So the more I grow and the more I understand, the less trivial things should make me hurt. The less trivial things should make me cry. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the difference. So um, you make sure you don't label things, the natural things that we go through as something bad. There's going to be contrast. There's going to be growth differences. There's going to be that. But we don't want to label that as bad. We'll label that as just part of the experience. Okay. So um, so how do we move forward? How do we move forward? You have to build a bridge. You have to build a bridge of communication. You have to build a bridge of experiences. How do you do that? You simply show empathy, share your experiences, listen to their experiences, ask about their experiences. Tell me more about your experiences. Really, I didn't know that. Allow them to enjoy their own discovery. You're not the end all and be all of all wisdom. Okay. So you have to understand, and as we talk about wisdom, wisdom is simply the revelation and grace of your own knowledge. You can only have wisdom for what you go through, not for what they go through. So the revelation and grace of your own knowledge and experience. That's the wisdom. So we got to be careful just because we know more, we have more information, we still make sure it turns into wisdom, which is the grace and the revelation. You see what I'm saying? So I have more knowledge, but you don't want that to be a bad thing. So then you start comparing and contrasting and labeling and uh misconstrued in the situation. Like, oh well, this is not that, this is not that. You don't know. You don't know. Just because you have knowledge, that don't mean it's revelation. Okay? So that's the big thing. A lot of teenagers and young adults, when they gain a lot of the information because they've been on on the planet for a little bit, they have a lot of information. Um, they mislabel it as wisdom. It's just the knowledge applied. That's all it is, the knowledge applied. So how do you apply when a situation come up, you want to respond differently? How do you apply that situation? How do you use your wisdom and make it a cordial situation? I feel the way I feel. I allow them to feel the way they feel. That's okay. I feel the way I feel, and I allow them to feel the way they feel. And however they feel is okay. So then we discuss, let's build a bridge for the future. That's building the bridge again. What can we do? How can we make this situation better? And we discuss ideas. Just because we assume we know more, that don't mean it's the right answer. The future is the future. It's the undiscovered. We don't know. So ask. I still need you to build this bridge to the future. Your idea plus my idea, that's what's gonna make it awesome. If you're gonna be together. You see what I'm saying? So we build a bridge of empathy, communication, compassion, and now they are able to be more aware where they are and have more um, enthusiasm for their own growth and knowledge, and just love that process. Just love that process. So you have to be curious, you have to be empathetic, you have to be compassionate, all of those things, and keep gaining knowledge. Share your knowledge. It's okay to share your knowledge, not to teach, but to share. There's a difference. And a lot of times couples, they run into this, especially men. A lot of times we know we feel we need to teach. That's not the case. Sharing, if you come to my house or I come to your house, sharing is if you want some, you can have it, not force feed. We can't force feed our revelation. If you would straighten up, if you like, no, you can share it. If they can take it, they don't want to take it, but you also have to know when you're sharing it. You don't want to be you don't want to have in a situation where you're sharing information and it comes off as you're judging them. Well, if I would have, you see what I'm saying? You don't want your knowledge to be a detriment to the process of the progress of the relationship, you know? So as you grow and as you learn and as you see, take your time. Take your time, okay? Because you can't know more than the situation that's going to come up. And so what I'm saying is, you're like, oh, I know the answer. I know the answer. And they just blurt out an answer in school. The kid, oh, I know the answer. And they're like, no, that's not even the right question. So you gotta have the question before you have the answer. That makes sense? So the situation have to evolve before you have the answer. So you have to be peace and patient. You don't know what tomorrow is. I'm gonna find me a new man. I'm gonna find me a new woman. Hold on, you know? So before you have that answer, the question and the situation have to appear. And just be at peace with that. So be okay with discovery. Be okay with soul revelation. The more we know, the more we figure out that we don't know. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about is there's a range. There's a range of knowledge that's out there. There's a range of knowledge. Okay. And so we can only experience at the level we are as individuals. So don't let where you're not disappoint you. Because sometimes as we grow and know, oh, I want to be farther, I want to be farther. Don't let that disappoint you. We can only be where we are. We can only know what we know. So if you've been married for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 2 years, whatever. So my wife, we've been married 24 years. It took us 24 years to get to the 24th year of marriage, to 24th year of understanding, of wisdom, of growth. It took us 24 years to get here. And you know what? We're still trying to figure it out. Okay. So you can't be disappointed in what you don't know. That's okay. That's okay. Because if that causes anxiety and stress and you start pushing your relationship in places that don't need to be pushed at. You start pushing buttons you don't need to be pushed at. Be patient with it. You know? Be patient with it. We have couples like, I'm going, I'm to leave this relationship, I'm going somewhere. Well, you haven't grown enough to be, you know, you sure you're ready to leave and be by yourself? Are you ready to be by yourself? Are you ready to be with someone else? Okay. So you have to graduate from where you are. So let's not let the our aspirations get us in trouble. Oh, I know more what I need to be here. We can only be where we are. We can only live and thrive at the level of our understanding and our awareness. So, as you and your spouse, you guys make it through the day, discover each other, love each other, communicate with each other. It's okay. You don't know it all, and they don't know it all. So y'all discover together. That's what the unity is all about. And I promise you, your energy together is better than the energy from a singular standpoint. But you have to be 100% all in on yourself, all in on your own particular growth and your own particular wisdom. Okay. This is Eric with Flip My Marriage. Guys, I hope this was very helpful. If we have a full program, an 8-week program, we help couples go from the beginning to the end, from broken to wholeness, from, hey, you know what? We want to be better. We have an exact formula, an exact program to take you through the 8-week process. It's called renovation. From the very consultation to figure out what the exact problems are, the exact problems, and we have to prescribe recipe all the way through, okay? From A to Z, from the foundation all the way to love, bliss, and building dreams. That's what we put together. So if you want that, if there's a link in this video, definitely click the link, schedule up your complimentary strategy session. We'll sit with you, um, 2 complimentary sessions. We'll go, we'll break it down, and we'll show you what it's all about. And actually, a lot of couples they get help right out the first session. So if you want to do that, if you've been going around the bush for a while, it's like, we're not gonna live in this. Definitely reach out to us. We've helped several couples all over the country, and we'd be glad to help you as well. So my wife, Kristen, and I will be praying for you guys. Hope everything continues to go well. If it's not going where you wanted to go, definitely reach out to us and we'd be glad to sit with you. All right. My name is Eric from Marriage. Thanks. Y'all take care.